Good morning. We are here with Sarah and Andrea, educators in the world of holistic management. And we're talking to them because we're going to be offering a workshop here in April in Colorado, just west of Denver, on planned grazing and ecological monitoring. So Sarah and Andrea, will you share with us why you're so passionate about being educators in this field?
It just gives me peace of mind when I do it myself. So doing grazing planning, I do 2 a year for my sheep and for my cattle, which I raise grass-fed beef, and I use my livestock to restore land. And that grazing chart and actually being so involved with looking at the recovery of plants, it makes me more money. It makes healthier animals. The soil is healthier, more plant diversity. Just in a few years, we got some new cattle, and we had some fly issues the first year. Then there was some lice issues, and then there was some like ringworm. Nothing really bad, but this year none at all, just because of having healthy soil and the ecological awareness of having a grazing plan and then adjusting your grazing plan to really look at the health of the land. Just makes our animals healthier and we're more profitable, and it's just more fun to do too, because you've got that peace of mind.
Nice. Sarah, you want to share your passion?
Yeah, I agree. I raise grass-fed bison in Southwest Colorado, and I cannot imagine managing all the complexity between the wildlife, the bison, the land, without grazing planning. And it gives me the peace of mind of knowing sort of what's going on and recording it and getting the results that I want, instead of unintended consequences, because I'm trying to do it all in my head or something like that. But the ability to experiment and try new things and get the results that I want, the grazing planning process and knowing how to read the land through ecological monitoring is just priceless. And then I like to teach it because it's just such an incredible tool and gives people such empowerment to be successful in their own operations and share that information with other people.
That's awesome. And will you briefly tell us how you got into holistic management? We'll start with you, Sarah.
Well, I decided I wanted to work with land and livestock, and I didn't really know what that meant, and was originally introduced to an educator myself, and she started sharing these planning processes and the decision-making framework. I then had the opportunity to work for 5 years with the Savory Institute and see holistic management in practice all over the world. And that was just game-changing for me to see the difference between, in the same climate, in the same rainfall, in the same, really location, fence lines, the difference in land productivity and water, efficiency and resiliency and drought. To see what the power of holistic management could do was game-changing for me. So when I started ranching myself, there wasn't even a question in my mind that using the tools of holistic management in these modules was the only way I was going to be successful, especially currently in the both, weather patterns that we're in and economical climate that we're in.
That's awesome. And Andrea?
Yeah, I actually was introduced to holistic management and used it for really policy and building agreements among diverse groups of people on thorny natural resource issues. And so the decision making of like bringing anglers and ranchers and farmers and agencies together to really be able to look at the land, learn how to manage livestock so that they actually can enhance the health of the land. So that was where I first started it. And then I was fortunate enough to marry my husband, Tony, and he had a ranch in Wyoming, and we ranched there. He's been practicing holistic management since the late 80s. And we were able with livestock to double our production on public lands. Yes, you can do that. we were able to help create the habitat with the most viable viable population of sage grouse. And then we kind of got, maybe we needed a different challenge. And so we moved our ranch to Oregon, and we are working to restore rivers for salmon. So that's what is behind me. And so we are using livestock for river restoration and enhancing Chinook, and mostly Chinook salmon, which are a listed species. And so we're seeing already great results. Even doubling our production without irrigating. So we're putting water in stream while increasing production because of our grazing planning and doing ecological monitoring, making sure that we're kept on track. So when I see what we've done, that just makes me so much more excited about what other people potentially can do, because I want to see more people profitable on the land. That's what we need around the globe. And so it's just super exciting that we get to come to Mother Cabrini and teach this. The expertise that Sarah has with bison is another added bonus. And it's just, and somebody who didn't grow up in agriculture is a bison rancher. That is so cool.
It is awesome. Well, I appreciate you both joining for this short snippet. We'll continue with some more discussions.